back, people. We're joined on today's episode by one of the top rising coaches in Europe today, Coach AURIMAS VERBUKAS, or as some may know him as Coach Ollie. AURIMAS is one of the most accomplished coaches on the junior basketball scene and is currently leaving his mark in one of Spain's premier programs, Zentro Basket Madrid. We discuss a range of different topics, including his journey to the UK and some of the differences between basketball globally. If you are new here, do be sure to make yourself at home by clicking that big red button and subscribing to the channel. Finally, if you're a high school player, coach, or even a parent and want to know more about the process of becoming a collegiate athlete, do be sure to check out our ebook, Under the Radar. It's in the description below. That's enough from me. Enjoy. Brilliant. Here with Coach AURIMAS, or Coach Ollie. We appreciate you coming on. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thanks for inviting me as well. I do appreciate that.
Brilliant. So actually, we want to know how you got the name Coach Ollie.
That's a very funny story. When I came to England, I did not speak any English. Like, I didn't know anything, like any words. I mean, I can say hello and how are you, but that's about it. And then I went to my first basketball practice. And there is that girl, I still remember her name. Her name is Brenda Kipevu. She was asking my name. What's your name? And I didn't understand that, or I didn't know like what she's saying. So I was like, huh? And she's like, well, my name is Brenda. What's your name? Then after about 3 minutes, I figure out what that means. And I say to her my real name, which is AURIMAS. And she's like, what? I'm like, AURIMAS. And she's like, what? Oliver. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, Oliver. And that's it. And then everybody tried to call me Ollie. That's the story, you know. Brenda gave me that nickname.
Now, that's an awesome story. So I want to get some background on your early life, how you got introduced to basketball, and how you came to the UK and influenced the sport here.
Yeah, so basically I born in Lithuania, which I believe in city of Kaunas, which is, for me, I know many disagree, is the basketball capital of Europe. You know, I'll stick by that, and I will fight anybody says something different. And kind of no choice. I remember PE lessons. You know, everybody have a different sports. But my first year in school was 1990, I guess. And everybody doing basketball. There was no choice. I mean, you had no choice. Football and basketball was the sports and rounders, I think we call that in English.
Right.
And I started playing basketball, and obviously it was on TV, and there was no choice. It was just like, okay, you're doing basketball or you're doing basketball, you know? And I always loved the sport because it was like fighting against something. You know, when you're playing in school every single day and you're playing on the street every single day, and that's it. And it was on TV all the time. All the friends talking about it, your free time with basketball, even if it's, you know, minus 25 or minus 30 in Lithuania, you play basketball. You put the gloves on, cut the ends of it, you take a shovel, take a snow out, you know, take the ice out, and you play until it's dark. And I joined this basketball school, and I graduated from the school. I was not a very good player, although I thought I was the best one, you know, but it was not true.
I have that mentality, right?
Yeah, you have to have that. I thought I was the best player. And then after 18, I decided to take a couple of years off from university. I went to Germany for a couple of years. I tried to play for the small, like a regional club in there.
Right.
But of course, as I said, I was not the best one, although I thought one. So I realized, okay, I can't be a player, but I want to stay with the sports. And then I wanted to become a coach. So I come back to Lithuania in a small team. Then I decided to come back to uni, which is the plan. Then I came to England at 20 years old.
Wow.
I didn't join uni until 21, which is University of East London.
Yeah.
And then I met one of the friends, I don't know if you know, we probably know, the referee that never gave me technical foul, the only one in England, by the way. No, second one in England, by the way. I emailed, I think, 50 clubs in England.
Oh, wow.
So pretty much, well, more than half for everybody. Only 2 clubs apply. And in the same borough, which was funny. And then I decided to visit Newham first, and then, the other club, Youngblood after. But I really liked it in the first club I visited, which is, I met Brenda, which is given me a nickname, and I stayed with them for, if I remember, 10 years. After I think successful years, both in team and players and my personal life and stuff. Then I went to Manchester after 10 years. Spent in Manchester for 4.5 years. Then after 4.5 years in Manchester, I'm here in Madrid.
What age group did you start at Newham?
Yeah, I was started with under 13s and led other teams and players and clubs I coach. That was my best year as a coach. Sorry, it was the best one. I know I coach on different teams in Manchester and now in Madrid, but everybody, let's forgive me, it was the best years as a coach. That year I have not just good players, but very good people. I have very good people around me. It was the dream for me to coach this type of players when I think now, For me, the under 13s was, or that group, or that, well, now they're not kids, but I still call them my kids. But that was the best years as a coach. I enjoyed the most, if I can say that. I hope other people are not going to be upset about that, but it's true. I feel that way.
For those that don't know, how would you describe your coaching style? And also, was it hard to implement your philosophy and mindset and principles early on in the UK?
It was quite easy, I guess. It was quite easy because I was, how can I say this? I was allowed to do what I believe is the good thing. I didn't have no restrictions. Like, I didn't have anything. If I decide I want to do this and I want to do this, and I was not right. I made a lot of mistakes and stuff like that, but it was quite easy because I was allowed to do. The club allowed me to coach how I want to coach. They allowed me to implement what I want to do, And I think that's good in a way because I was able to make mistakes and learn from them myself instead of, somebody tell me, oh, that's bad, that's good, that's bad. So I know a lot of people believe, oh, you have to have like a direction, you have to have a, footprint, and you have to have this way to follow. And but I believe for me it was better that I'm allowed to do or coach how I think is good. Right. And it was not good. And believe me, my first years, now it's not perfect either, but my first year was all the mistakes. Right. But I thankful for that club, for NASA to allow me to make mistakes and learn from that. And I think this stays with you longer if you learn from your mistakes instead of somebody say, okay, this is A, B, C, D.
You enjoyed some success at NASA. What would you say was the biggest catalyst or the biggest reasons for your team successes during your time there?
So I think the catalyst was the players. I had the players that, even by this day, some of them already professionals, starting professional career. Some of them still in the United States of America. Some of them playing in a BBL. Some of them in the lower leagues in France. So it's the players. My first years is definitely the players. It's. I have to give the hat off to them. They helped me a lot to understand. They helped me a lot in terms of, if you like to say, winning. I didn't have to do anything. Under 13, 14, 15, 16, it was just, okay, guys, we're playing today. If I'm honest, if I'm honest, it's definitely the players. And I believe by this day, the good players makes coach looks better. Because I know a lot of good coaches, a lot of tactical, technical, individual skills coaches that are very good. They just don't have publicity because they don't have a talented players. And I believe, we can develop talent, I suppose. I hate that word talent, but there is something called talent, physical, field talent, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But the better players definitely make coach looks better, and I think that's the case with me, especially early years anyway.
When you have a group of so many talented players, would you say that some of the challenges are giving them a role that is suited to the team, or did you ever have to deal with player egos or bad fits in the team, finding the best group of guys that can give you the best chance to win?
You hit that on the nail. The egos is the one, and if you coach young kids, they're 15, 16, they know everything, they know everything the best. And my coach never been 15, 16 before, so I have no idea how it works, but the egos is the one. I think egos is the main one. Egos is the main one. And, because if you have a 7 or 8 player that on the national team setup or close to it, and everybody thinks they can play, it was never the issue in my first NASA teams, but especially now when everybody thinks they Kevin Durant's, everybody's Steph Curry's, and everybody's that, everybody have egos, and everybody wants to play. So I think the hardest is to manage the heart of the players, to manage to understand how everybody thinks, to manage to understand how what each player need and how to talk to each player. And I think it's a big skill of the coach, which I still try to master, because I don't think you should be fair to everybody, but not equal. Everybody's not equal, man. You should be fair, but not equal. That makes sense. I know it's a cliche, but I really live by that, because the one kid needs a soft hand, some kid needs a bit of harder hand, and managing that, it's the skill it's held by the coach. And I'm still not mastered that. And I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but I'm trying to get better at that.
So after NASA, you spent 4 years in Manchester, and you were coaching at academy level, women's level, and Division 1, correct?
Yeah, when I joined Manchester, I had 2 teams. So I had my first year, I have under 15 team and under 18 team, coaching boys for 2 years, the same age groups. Then I had academic team, and the girls team itself. Then coaching boys again. Of course, with NASA and Manchester, we do a lot of individual work, so I'm a part of that as well. And then after 4 years, I had a chance to coach Division 1 team, which was not really successful spell of 3 months, or 4 months, I suppose, in the preseason. And after 4 months, with results not going our way, I decided to resign, which I think is the right thing to do for the coach. It's not throwing the stones in anybody's gardens, but I think at semi-professional level or even professional level, the coach is responsible for results. I know sometimes you don't have the resources and you don't have the, anything around it, or, but is the coach responsible for results? And I will live by that.
But going back to Manchester and talking about the culture and, the history of the program, the success they've had as well, did you see a big difference in the basketball culture in Manchester in comparison to Newham or in London?
Yes and no. Yes, because obviously Manchester or Northwest is much smaller.
Right.
It's much less clubs in Northwest. In London is I don't know how many numbers, but over 20, I suppose. With CVL and other teams. And Manchester. I'm talking about Northwest more, Cheshire, Oldham, Northwest, Giants, and stuff like that, which is have a professional team, if you like. But the culture is different because a lot of times in Manchester Magic, people are able to practice every day because we have their own facility. And I really believe we're the only one, a junior purpose facility that we have, only one in the country, which is amazing. In England, I don't know, in Scotland and Wales, but definitely in England, we're the only club that had facility for a junior team, which is almost 24/7. We're sharing with the school until the school finished, but we're the only one. I know other clubs build they call basketball purpose facility, but they don't have it for the juniors. We had it, literally we had a key, we can come in the time we want to come. I think that's make a big difference in culture because you can be in the gym all the time. The culture of London, for me, is great, but there is not much opportunities to be in a gym every single day. I think there is no much opportunities when you can actually come in a gym in the morning. You can come in a gym straight after school, and you can stay there all day, and that's Monday to Sunday. In Manchester Magic, the kids can be in the gym almost every day if they want to. If they want to, as you know, in London, the restrictions with the gym accessibility and stuff like that, you know, and you can't be in a park when it's always raining in England, you know. I'm missing that a little bit. There's not much rain here, but I'm missing a little bit of rain. I know it's weird, but I'm missing rain a little bit. For the players, for me, it's the same, man. I mean, everybody, you know, is the same. It just the possibilities that Manchester Magic has is much greater than 99% of London teams do, you know. But the other stuff, you know, kids love basketball, everybody loves NBA, everybody loves new sneakers, everybody want to practice a lot. But Manchester Magic can provide that a little bit more, you know, well, not a little bit, much more. They can provide that with their own gym, and most of the times with the coaches. I mean, when I was in Manchester, we had 3 full-time coaches, which is me, and then 2 brothers, Tom and Pete Parashkiwas. You know, we was there in office all day. So if the kids want to come, all they have to do is text me or text Tom and Pete, and they just open the doors. You know, so they can make their culture flourish. They can be there. I don't know, if you give this to London kids, they will be in the gym all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we just unfortunately missing, and I think London need at least one